Welcome back to Cube Studies. Today's exercise is furniture groups developed from wireframes. And remember, the wireframe is that box that we create, that we draw our pieces and our details inside of. So let's go to this worksheet. This is worksheet number 7. Okay, again, we have formulas. Now, I tend to draw from the back to the front. That way I'm not having to draw over the top of something. But in this particular case, so I'm going to start back here with this particular object. And I notice that it has a fairly tall, the height is 5 of the width. So I'm going to measure my width here. I always try to put in a vertical line, so I'm measuring vertically. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so anytime we're doing a wireframe, remember that the first thing that we have to do is to draw the front face from the footprint. So now we're going to go vertically. Then from the front face, we want to draw back to the vanishing point from each of the corners of the front face. And even though our corners are already back here from the footprint, we'll go ahead and put them in just to remind us that this is the case. So now we come from the back corner of the footprint, and we come vertically till we hit the line going back to the vanishing point. And we come across horizontal till we intersect again, and that should align vertically with the footprint. Now I'm doing this very lightly because eventually I want to put something in here. So first that's my first large rectangle. Let's go and do, now this object is in front of this one, so let's go ahead and do it next and see what it looks like. So for here it says H equals W. For this piece right here, that W is from this corner to this corner, just to be clear. So let's go ahead and put in a vertical. Then we'll do our measurement. So our measurement runs the full length. And that's going to be our height. Again, we're going to draw the front face. So we'll go horizontal and then a vertical from the front face. All right, so from our front face, then we go back to the vanishing point. And if you want, you can draw it all the way back if you want, but you can also stop it before it hits the next object so it's just not in the way. Then we're going to go from our back footprint, vertical, then horizontal till we cross the other line. And then that should connect vertically to the back. All right, so let's go with the next square, which is this one right here. And in this case, we are 1/2 of this overall height. So let's go ahead and take that measurement again. So that's here. And we want to divide that in half with our handy dandy measuring device. That's 1/2 high. And again, remember, the width is the entire width from the back to the front. So I've given my measurement, and I'm going to draw that across. And then from the footprint, I'm going to come up for the other side and that is my front face. So now I'm going to go back to the vanishing point again. Back to the vanishing point. Then from the footprint, I'm going to come straight up. And then straight over. And you see I have this L-shaped object, and that looks very similar to a chair, or the beginnings of a chair. So we have this sectional unit here that we want to start with, and I always try to start from the longest side. So again, I'm going to measure my width, and if I use this for my other, I notice that this width and this width are exactly the same. So the formulas are going to be the same. So I can either measure over here or I can draw the line straight across. But let's go through the measuring process just to remind you how to do that. So we measured our width, and remember the width is the entire from the front to all the way to the back. And then we're going to go horizontal and then vertical from the footprint. Okay, so from the front face, we go back to the horizon line and back to the horizon line. And these lines from the bottom, or our footprint, already go to the horizon line. So those have already been done for us. So here's the front face of our object, and we're going to come straight up from there. And that's going to be the inside corner of our sectional. Now we're going to bring the back corner up. Now from our footprint, you can see that the back corner is behind the front corner. So those are going to be staggered lines there. So if you start from this side and just wrap yourself around, this all continues. So I'm going to draw the front face first so I can see that well. And I'm going to come across horizontal. And if I carry my footprint line across, this is the point that it comes up from the footprint. And the footprint tells us all the lines we need to draw. So that's that line. Now, if I come, this is the back corner of the sectional, and it goes horizontal. So again, my line here will be horizontal. And this gets really pretty close together, so you have to be kind of careful with that. All right, I'm going to bring it across. Now I'm going to follow the footprint all the way across until it hits that corner. It's at that corner that I'm going to come up, and because this is going to be a hidden line, I'm just going to put a point there. That line, again, finishing the back square, we go to the vanishing point, and those two should connect with one another. Okay, do you see that? All right, let's go ahead and try putting in the seat cushion. And remember, it is 1/2 of the overall width. So I'm going to fold that over, make a mark, draw the front face. And if you bring your triangle over, you can see that that aligns with that other side. I'm going to bring it over until it intersects the vertical. From the footprint, I'm going to come straight up. All right, now I'm going to go to the vanishing point, because this is just another square. And I'm going to go to that inside corner. See where the inside of the footprint hits? That's how far back that cushion's going to be. The front corner is only going to go to this point. So I'm not going to draw it all the way just because I'll have to erase it later. I just draw it until it looks like it's going to overlap at that point. And then I can draw my vertical until that intersects. From that point, the footprint goes horizontal. So I'm going to go ahead and go horizontal. until I cross the footprint, and this will be the front face of the seat cushion. So now going back, it goes to the inside face of the seat cushion, and then from the footprint, from here to here, I'm going to do the top of that face. And that's what, it looks like it's going downhill a little bit. Let's straighten that up just a hair. There. Is that better? Alrighty. So now we have our sectional, the inside face. Let's go ahead and do this little coffee table, if we will. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to do the front face, and remember the front face is always the longest side of a cube, so that's this one. I'm going to go up some distance. I'm going to go ahead and measure my width, because my formula is 3/4 of a width. So if I fold it in half, that's about here. Let's see how accurate my guess was here. All right, so I'm folding that in half. So that's half of that. And I want 1/4, which means I've got to fold it again. And that's 1/4. So if I open that all up, I can see from my fold that this is the beginning. This is 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, and a whole. I want the 3/4. And that's going to come just below my cushion line there. I'm going to go horizontal till I cross my footprint. I'm going to come vertical. Then I'm going to go from the front face back and the front face to the vanishing point. And then I'm going to come up from the footprint. Now remember from your original cube study, this is that cube that was right in front of us on the bottom. And then horizontal. All right. And that should match this backside of the footprint coming up vertically. So that works out pretty well. Now in this particular case, I'm going to go ahead and have you erase your hidden lines a little bit, just to kind of get rid of a few things that we don't really need. And what we're going to do is just draw in what our actual is. So we're going to take this across, and we're just going to draw what we see, none of the hidden lines. I'm going to draw a hard line on my things that are in front, so that when I get to where it is overlapping, I won't draw those hidden lines like we did in the cube study. So there's the inside of the cushion, the front of the cushion, and the bottom, and the bottom. Okay? Now, I'm going to do the next thing would be this particular, our kind of coffee table, if we will. I'm only going to draw what I can see. So in this case, from our cube study, we know that I can only see the front face and the top. All right, now I'm going to go to the sectional. There's the front face of the sectional. Then we're going to go to the back, to the inside back, to the inside cushion, to the front face. Then we're going to draw the front face, the inside of the back cushion, the front of the back cushion, the back of the back cushion, and then the side, and what I can see of the side. And remember, I'm only going to see that much because that's hidden. And then lastly, we have this cube. It's a very tall cube. And I'm going to assume that that's probably a lamp or a light fixture. I see that edge. I see that back edge. And then the foot. Okay, so that's your completed wireframe. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a sheet of tissue paper over the top of this, and I'm going to soften these lines now that I have this wireframe in to make it look more like a piece of furniture. And I will post that along with this video, what that final looks like. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the cube studies.